When you hear the word autogenocide, you might think, cool, like what we're trying to do to Teslas. But that's not what it means. Autogenocide is a genocide that a population is coerced to perform on itself. As I was making this video, I thought about this quote from Days of Destruction, Days of Revolt. What was done to Native Americans was the template. It would be done to the people in the Philippines, Cuba, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and it is now finally being done to us. This tyranny and exploitation have become our own. Now let's look at an example of autogenocide. White Clay is an unincorporated village that exists only to sell beer and malt liquor. It has no garbage collection, no fire department, no police department, no sewer system. Its primary business venture brings in an estimated $3 million a year in revenue. White Clay's clients, however, are some of the poorest people in the country. They're Native Americans from the Pine Ridge Reservation that is less than 200 feet away, just over the state line in South Dakota. White Clay is an extension of the long night of ethnic cleansing, degradation, and murder stretching back more than a century and a half to the U.S. cavalry charges on Indian encampments where screaming women and children were shot down as they fled. The poison pouring out of these little shrines of death and profit erected by tidy white capitalists greases old familiar cogs. The virus of corporate abuse, the perverted belief that only corporate profit matters, has spread to outsource our jobs, cut the budgets of our schools, close our libraries, and plague our communities with foreclosures and unemployment. This virus has brought with it a security and surveillance state that seeks to keep all of us on a reservation. No one is immune. They went first, we are next. We failed them, and in doing so, we failed ourselves. We're accomplices in our own demise. Revolt is all we have left. It is the only hope. So here we are, and here I am, with daily fear, anxiety, and desperation, with a lack of adequate medical care, living in toxic pollution, plenty of guns and street drugs, but like I said, lack of medical care, sectarian hatred, poverty, and houselessness, no elder care, no disability for people who are experiencing long COVID that came from a government failure and inability to adequately protect its citizens and their health. No baby formula or abortions, climate change, toxic food and pharmaceuticals. I was going to make a brief video, but it's going to be a series of brief videos instead. The next video will be about why we call it autogenocide and not just genocide. To be clear, autogenocide is a method of genocide. It's a form of genocide that many people have been conditioned to accept, and one that often places the blame on the victim.